Hey guys, welcome to Cape and Cowl Cafe. I'm Nemo, and today we're going to be ranking the best Nightwing suits ever made. If you guys enjoy the video at any point today, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, but let's hop right in. Alright, first up, we're going to go over some honorable mentions. We got Nightwing from TNBA, we got Teen Titans Nightwing, and honestly, it's so iconic I have to list it. Nightwing from the first LEGO Batman game. Okay, that LEGO hairpiece is just ridiculous. But when it comes to Nightwing from TNBA and Teen Titans, the only thing that's holding those designs back, in my opinion, is the mask. I don't like it when Nightwing's mask covers his entire nose. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. I don't really like it, but the rest of those designs are actually pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Teen Titans' long hair, but, you know, that's whatever. Anyway, on to the rest of the list. Alright, first up on the list, at number 10, we have the 90s Nightwing costume as seen in the Nightfall story. This one is just solid. It's pretty cool. I definitely see what they were going for. They were trying to take the disco wing suit and modernize it, make it look a little bit cooler, but the baby blue on the gloves and the boots, it just doesn't really work for me. It's a little jarring. I feel like they should have just made it one solid shade of blue. You know, that dark blue is really nice to look at, and as much as I do think I like the gold elements on this suit, the random lines on it just feel kind of weird, you know? Like, it's kind of cool that he has a glider, you know, under his arms there, but because of the lines, it kind of looks like he has web wings, like from a Spider-Man costume. Now, I have never been a fan of Nightwing with a ponytail, but this one is a lot better. Like, he gets a ridiculously long one later on. This one is pretty mild in comparison. Alright, next up at number 9, we have Super Nightwing, or Super Wing as I like to call him. This comes from Tom Taylor's Nightwing run. This is when Dick Grayson temporarily got superpowers for a few hours. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, this is kind of like paying tribute to all of Nightwing's previous designs. You have the blue stripe, but you also have the lined gold elements from the 90s costume, and you kind of have the lighter colors of the disco wing suit. One thing that makes this costume stand out is the gold mask. I think that really just sells the look for me. I even like how they do the blue stripe and the gold bird symbol at the same time. You know, they're just adding everything here, but it all works somehow, you know? It doesn't feel cluttered. It's all pretty balanced. I like it a lot, you know? This was a really cool part of the book, so naturally I'm going to enjoy this suit. Honestly, this suit kind of makes him look like invincible, which is pretty cool. I don't know, maybe they were going for that. Alright, next up at number 8, we have Nightwing from Young Justice. Now, I typically don't really like the tactical, militaristic look for, you know, these kinds of characters. Nightwing should mostly just be wearing spandex. But this one's not like the Titan show, you know? That show had really clunky, ugly armor. I don't understand anyone who glazes that suit. It just looks so bad to me. This one, however, makes a little more sense, and it definitely translates a lot better in animation. You know, it's tactical, it looks like combat armor, but it's still skin tight, you know? He's not wearing some clunky battle suit. It still works. This looks more like some kind of stealth suit, and I like it a lot, you know? I didn't think that I would be a fan of smaller Nightwing logos, but this one works. I just wish that there was a little more blue on this thing. However, this suit does have a collar, which I love. I love me a good superhero collar. I don't understand it. Okay, next up at number 7, we have Nightwing's prototype costume from Nightwing Year 1. Now this one is essentially just his disco wing suit, but without all of the gold elements. It's interesting because they're trying to take this design and find a middle ground between the silly goofiness of the 80s and the modern era, and I think it kind of works. You know, I wouldn't mind if this was one of Nightwing's default costumes. It definitely doesn't look that bad. I like how they use kind of more muted colors to kind of balance out the goofy design with the super deep V-neck and the huge collar, but it's cool, you know? It looks like an acrobat costume, and at the end of the day, that's what Nightwing is. Alright, next up at number 6, we have the original disco wing suit. Now, I know I just said that I liked the Year 1 suit because it modernizes this, you know, kind of silly design, but I don't care. You know, you get to a point in your life where you don't care about everything being serious, and sometimes you just want to enjoy something because it's fun. And this is a fun design, you know? And I have actually seen a few modern interpretations of this costume that doesn't make it look terrible, you know? And even then, I don't think this design is terrible. I think it's just fun, you know? Plus, I really like the idea of Dick Grayson getting really excited about this new identity, and then everyone just makes fun of him for it because he designed a ridiculous looking costume. It's just hilarious. But in all seriousness, even though the layout of the design is a little weird, I do really like the color balancing. They have some baby blue, they got dark blue, and they have gold. It's not like the 90s suit where there's just like a little bit of the baby blue and most of it is dark blue that like almost looks black. Everything's balanced here. It looks pretty good. I can't really hate this. And if you hate it, well, then you're just an old grump, okay? Grow up. Alright, cracking the top 5, we have Nightwing from Arkham City. Now, this is one of those designs that kind of looks like it's tactical and stuff, but it's still not armor. You know, this is some kind of fabric costume, but with a little bit of padding, and I think that is perfectly acceptable for a more realistic looking Nightwing. Now, Nightwing's design in Arkham Knight is atrocious in my opinion. I do not like all of the armor pieces. The weird connected neck mask thing is just super ugly. However, his Arkham City design is just peak. It looks so good. Now, when it comes to this costume, they really could have overdone it. You know, it looks like there's a lot going on here, but there really isn't. And the thing that really helps this design is they let it be all black. You know, some Nightwing designs will add different shades of black or gray to kind of change things up, but it always makes it look over-designed. It just, like, there's too much, you know? But I am glad that they just left the whole thing black, and of course they have the blue elements here, and it is just beautiful. You know, I love the texture that they have chosen for the blue parts. It just looks so good. Like, I don't understand why they changed this design for Arkham Knight. That Arkham Knight Nightwing design is so incredibly ugly. It just does not look good.
What the fuck are you wearing?
It's time for a Miles Morales original, you know? One of one.
That shit's ass, bro.
Alright, next up at number 4, we actually have a costume that wasn't really on my radar until I saw a video from the Comic Lads on the same topic. You should go check them out, they are really funny. Anyway, I am talking about the Kingdom Come Nightwing design. Now, this only really appeared on 2 panels in an issue of World's Finest, but this costume is just, it's so peak, it goes so hard. Now, I'm just going to spoil it now. The new 52 costume is not on this list, okay? I am not a fan of red on Nightwing. I just don't think that that color really works for the character, and it makes him feel like he's trying to be the same as Red Hood or Tim Drake. You know, I really like the blue. However, this costume makes the red work. I don't know why, it just does. It just looks so good, and I love that this Nightwing costume has a cape. Obviously, this is inspired by the Chris O'Donnell Nightwing costume from Batman and Robin, but they do it way better here. I mean, first off, there's no nipples, so that's a huge plus. I love the belt. I love how the symbol is slightly fragmented and kind of disconnected from the shoulder parts, and you still have the stripes running down his arms. It's a simple design, but it's so effective. Alright, next up at number 3, we have Dick Grayson's look from the Night Fight series, and that would be his costume as Batman. Now, I understand that this is, you know, technically a Batman costume, but it belongs to Dick Grayson, and there are enough Nightwing elements on this suit to where it could count. You know, you got the blue, you have the V stripe on the chest. It's basically an amalgamation of Batman and Nightwing, which is just awesome. It goes so hard. I also just love how they do the blue shading and the highlights on some of the black sections of this costume, like the gauntlets and the boots. It makes it look like he's wearing shiny armor that's just like a really, really dark blue, and it looks so good. The belt looks awesome, and I don't even mind the fact that there's no trunks on this costume because there is such a good balance between the gray, the black, and the blue that you don't even miss them. And besides, I don't even feel like half of the Robins would wear trunks, you know, on their Batman costumes. Now, obviously, I know that this design belongs to Dick Grayson, but I really wouldn't mind if we saw more costumes like this for Bruce. I love the dark blue with the black. It just looks so good. This definitely was my favorite of the 4 alternate Batman costumes. I wasn't a huge fan of Jason or Tim's. I don't really think that Tim's fit him. You know, like, it didn't look like a Tim Drake suit, but Dick's and Damien's were just so good. So good. Alright, next up at number 2, we have Dexter Soy's Nightwing redesign. Now, I was never really a fan of small logos, but this guy has changed my mind. This looks so good, for no reason at all. You got the smaller logo, you got the blue shoulder pads and the thin stripes running down the arms, you got some blue armor on the legs there, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's a really simple design, and the blue mask is just the cherry on top. It just adds that little bit of extra blue that this design needs. It's just so good, you know? Like, I don't understand why people aren't talking about this design more, you know? It's like the best Nightwing redesign we've had since we saw the original black and blue. It's just so peak. Alright, coming at number 1, obviously, is Nightwing's classic black and blue. Now, there have been a million different versions of this design, so they're all just pretty much getting thrown in. You got Tom Taylor's redesign, you have the early 2000s look, you have Rebirth. There's a lot, but I think my favorite has to be his original black and blue suit from the early 2000s. Not with the ponytail. I don't like the ponytail. I do like the more kind of longer mid-length hair, but The thing that I like about this suit the most has to be the thick gloves that have the pouches, because obviously Nightwing doesn't wear a utility belt, so I really like it when he has the thicker gloves that, are able to hide a bunch of gadgets inside. It's a really cool detail. I like it a lot. But this base design is just so good, and most Nightwing designs kind of stick to the same design philosophy. You have the blue V across the chest, and you have the stripes running down the arms and the hands. Now sometimes they cut off the stripe at the shoulder. I don't really mind, it's all the same thing. It's Nightwing, Nightwing is cool. His base design is just so peak. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it all, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, and drop in the comments down below your favorite Nightwing costume. Let's talk about it. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.